In less than 10 minutes, let's learn how to make a single welt pocket. The first thing you need to do is to mark how wide you want your pockets to be. In this case, I marked 5.5 inches. Then you take your fabric, depending on how wide you want it to be, the thickness of the welt. This is a 1.5 unfold and it's 3 inches. So I cut 3 inches too, and I folded one to make it 1.5 inches, and I'll be marking 5.5, the same length I want my pockets to be, and I'm marking 0.5 inches. So I will draw my line. That is the length of this line is 5.5 inches. The same thing I will mark here as well. I'll mark 0.5 inches, and I will draw the line. The length of the line also will be 5.5 inches. Now if you want your pockets to be longer, you can make it 6 inches or even less. So I'll mark the 5.5 inches at this point. Now the next thing I will do is pick the main fabric, which could be your skirt, your jacket, your trouser, whatever, wherever you want your pockets to be. Then you place this folded fabric, and you put your needle on the start of the line, that line that I just drew. That is where I'm starting from, and I will trace that straight line until I get to the end. I will backtack and stop. Make sure it is very accurate. You stop on that line. That's why it's important that you draw that line first. So I will stop. Then I'll pick the second material. I must tell you now that I added interfacing to this material so that it will be strong and thick. So I will place the lines, making sure the lines are equal, and I will sew and stop at the exact point where the line stopped. So the next thing will be to cut the center line. So I'll cut the line on the main fabric now, and once I'm about to get to the end of my sewing, about 0.5 inches away, I will cut it slant to go and meet that part that I sew. At this point, you have to be very careful not to cut your stitch, because if you do, you have just spoiled the material. Then I will bend again at the other side, and I will cut it. So I will now have like a V at this tip. I will turn it over and do exactly the same thing to the other side. Once I'm done cutting, I will flip the fabric from this is the right side. We're actually working on the right side. So from this right side, I'll flip it to the wrong side. After flipping to the right side, I will take it to my ironing table and I will iron it. I'll give it a very good press. So after pressing, depending on what you want to achieve, you can top stitch. If you want your stitch to show, you just top stitch. If not, if you don't want it to show, you sew inside the ditch. All right, let's sew here first. You see the V and every other thing, you put them together and sew on both sides. So after sewing, you pick your pocket material, whatever you want to use as the pocket material, and you sew it on the excess, the remaining part inside your pocket. You join it just as I'm doing. Then the same thing, you join the other side too. So once you are done, you put that's the pocket. I will now join the pockets. I'll put them together like this and I'll sew it around. And I must say, it's not compulsory your pocket is square. You can make it round, you can curve it. Depends on the shape of pocket you want. So I'll just, that is my pocket, and I'll just trim off the excess. And that is my single Welt pocket, you see. Now depending on what you want, you can sew, you can top stitch. You can top stitch outside, and you can top stitch in the ditch. That is, if you sew it in the ditch, it won't really show. So you can use a contrast, you see, inside that hole, that is sewing in the ditch. If you sew it outside, that is top stitching outside. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.